So let's just get right into it. If you're a law firm owner, you know what it's like. You've poured your blood, sweat, and tears into your practice. You've built a reputation, you've built a team, you've built a legacy. But what happens when it's time to step away? I mean, have you really planned for what's probably the single biggest transaction of your entire professional life?
Because here's the thing, and it's a pretty tough pill to swallow. A full 50% of business owners, and yeah, that includes lawyers like you, don't actually get to choose when they leave. They're forced out. Think about it. An unexpected illness, a disability, a partnership that just blows up. These aren't just personal problems. They instantly become business crises that can threaten everything you've worked for.
And that is exactly what we are tackling today, the law firm exit plan. Now, I don't want you to think of this as some boring administrative chore. Think of it as your blueprint. It's your strategic guide to grabbing the wheel and making sure that when you do transition out of your firm, it happens 100% on your terms. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to dig into why this unplanned exit thing is such a huge problem. Then we'll lay out that blueprint for success. After that, we'll get into the good stuff, how to actually beef up your firm's value. And finally, we'll talk about designing what comes next for you. Okay, let's start with the problem itself. Because when you think about it, leaving your entire legacy, your life's work, up to chance, well, that's just not an option. Without a plan, you're not just gambling with your own financial future. You're gambling with the survival of the very firm you poured your heart and soul into. So let's put a name to the villain in this story, the involuntary exit. This is any departure you didn't see coming, and boy, does it hit you with a nasty 1-2 punch. First, bam, your personal income can get shut off just like that. And second, it can absolutely crush the value of your firm right at the moment when you or your family need that money the most. All right, enough of the doom and gloom. Let's talk about the solution. This is your blueprint for success. It's a structured 6-phase approach that puts you firmly back in the driver's seat. Look, this whole process can feel, overwhelming, but we can break it down into a clear, manageable journey. We start by figuring out your goals. Then we protect the business from all those unexpected curveballs. From there, we build up your personal finances, we grow the firm's value, we execute the actual transition, and finally, we design your life after law. See? It's a complete roadmap to get you from where you are right now to exactly where you want to be. And it all starts right here with phase 1. Your entire plan is built on the answers to these 4 simple but really profound questions. You've got to ask yourself, when do I want to get out? How much money do I actually need to live the life I want? Who's going to take over this thing? And what do I want to be remembered for? Getting clear on this stuff is the foundation for everything else. Phase 2 is all about building a fortress around your firm. Now, for those of you in multi-partner firms, this means a rock-solid buy-sell agreement. It's basically a prenup for your business, and you want it funded by insurance. So if something happens, the buyout is smooth and painless. Now, if you're a solo practitioner, your lifeline is business overhead disability insurance. It pays the bills and keeps the lights on, preserving your firm's value if you suddenly can't work. Okay, phase 3 is a total game changer. So listen up. You have to build wealth outside of your firm. Why? Because the more financially independent you are from that final sale price, the more power you have. It gives you all the leverage in negotiations. It means you can walk away from a lowball offer and wait for the right one. It's freedom. Which leads us perfectly into our third section, fortifying your firm's value. This is where we get proactive. It's all about making your firm as attractive, as profitable, and as valuable as it can possibly be for whoever comes next. The first value driver is what we call operational excellence. So what's that mean? It means clean books, efficient billing, streamlined systems. A potential buyer wants to buy a well-oiled machine, right? Not a fixer-upper. This is how you show them you've got a healthy, profitable business that's ready to go. Next up, leadership and team depth. You have to put yourself in a buyer's shoes. The biggest question they're going to ask is, can this firm run without this person? By developing a strong management team under you and really delegating responsibility, you prove that the business's value isn't all tied up in you. And the third key driver is transferable value. This means you've documented your processes, you have a diverse group of clients, and you've built a brand that's bigger than just your own name. You're creating a true asset that someone can step into and run successfully from day one. You're not just selling them a job. So, once you've pumped up that value as much as you can, you move into phase 5, execution. This is where the rubber meets the road. And you've basically got three main paths you can take. You can groom an internal successor, which is fantastic for your legacy. You can pursue a confidential sale to an outside party, which often gets you the best price. Or you can merge with another firm. The right path for you? Well, that all depends on the goals you set way back in phase 1. And that brings us to our final and, maybe the most important section of all. This whole thing isn't just about selling a business. It's about designing your next chapter. It's about making sure you don't just survive, but you actually thrive in your post-exit life. A successful retirement isn't just about having enough money in the bank. It's about finding a new purpose, right? Maybe that's through hobbies, volunteering, or even consulting. It's about managing your wealth smartly so it lasts. And it's about prioritizing your health and reconnecting with the people you love. So if you're sitting there wondering, when should I start all of this? The answer is pretty simple. You know that old saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago? The second best time is right now. It doesn't matter if you plan to exit in 2 years or 20. Starting this process today is what gives you control over your own destiny. Let's end on this one thought. Your exit, it's not an ending. It's the ultimate valuation of your life's work. And I'm not just talking about the price tag. I'm talking about the legacy you leave for your clients, your team, and your family. So the only real question left is, are you going to be ready for the verdict?